Andy, it's good to have you. How do the dominoes continue to fall here? What do investors need to know and watch for?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Kelly. So we were already cautious, as was mentioned earlier, with the higher ed space coming into 2020. We certainly think the movement to online activities and moving to online learning, the hybrid model, certainly has negative ramifications for student housing, as mentioned. We think there are three things people need to focus on. Location, location, location. Where these facilities are located, being on campus versus off campus, having new amenities would be the second thing to focus on, and the ability to reach student interest in changing preferences, especially not sharing dorms, for example, showering that has a bit more privacy, et cetera, in this new age of COVID-19.
Sure. So I'm curious, I'm going to ask you about this from the college point of view, even though you're the investing guy, but what happens once colleges default on these payments? I mean, presumably they want students to come back and fill those properties in the future.
Sure. So one thing about municipal finance, usually, you see a ability to continue to move forward as an institution. So while these projects may have challenges, we think that the universities will largely remain intact. And so I think if they can, develop a situation where they downsize their inventories, they can make their portfolio of real estate a bit more palatable to their students' structure. We think that there is an opportunity for investors to continue to invest in this sector, and recoveries may be able to be gained if we can just get through this COVID-19 patch and get to a more adjusted learning structure where you have a hybrid and a traditional model together.
Right, because I guess the question comes down to, as an investor, do you think colleges are going back to normal before COVID, or do you think this will represent some kind of permanent shift, not just because of the pandemic, but because of all the trends and forces that were building up against the proliferation of all these colleges and universities prior to this? What's your guess about how that shakes out?
Sure. I mean, I think we, small liberal arts universities that are, in a highly competitive market with students that were already, the demographics were moving against colleges and universities, just the number of student age, cohorts coming through the system. So, I mean, we think that there are certainly, chances that you are going to have private universities in particular shutting down. But even beyond that, you look at the state and local picture, these large state universities, you look to states for aid. And we think, given the challenges at the state and local government level, we think student aid is going to also be pressured. So they're really feeling it on both ends in terms of the push on the business model. And that was happening before COVID-19. We think that this just accelerates that trend. And there will be winners and losers for sure. We think that there needs to be an adjustment to the overall the market.